I'm an asshole when I wanna be, just don't wanna be a poser. My philosophy is just reality, I'm sober, but you still be looking up to me cause I've been high ever since I came.
My name's John. I am from Only Posers Don't Listen to Podcasts. I am here with Jess and Bobby of the long titled Northeast Pennsylvania Horror Film Fest and Punk Rock Zine and Flea Market and Zine Fest.
I just call it Spooky Summer.
Spooky Summer it is.
That works.
That's June 12th.
June 12th.
At the Circle Drive-In. This outside of Scranton, right?
Oh,
Dixon City, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dixon City. What do you guys have planned for the event?
The day is going to open up around noon to the public, and it's going to start with the local vendors who are consisting of different visual artists and collectors, different makers, and kind of like vintage finds and that kind of thing that you would typically find at a punk rock flea market, zines. And that's going to pretty much be going on at the same time. We're going to have DJ Quoth performing some tracks from some punk, post-punk, some goth tracks. So while everybody's shopping, and then somewhere in the middle of the day, we're also going to have a meet and greet with Clint Howard before the films. Then I usually pass it off to Bobby when it comes to the film part.
Oh, you passing?
Passing it.
So basically, she mentioned Clint Howard, so we're going to do a double feature, sort of a tribute to him, since he's the guest of honor. So we're showing Rock and Roll High School first, which is fitting it goes with the punk rock flea market.
Yep.
And then we're going to have an intermission where we show some independent short films and some commercials from our sponsors. And then we're going to end the night with his cult classic horror film B-movie, Ice Cream Man, which I highly recommend everyone stays and watches because it's incredible. And that's all I gotta say about that.
And there's also bands playing too.
Oh yeah, the band. We got those bands. And Clint
You guys
Howard.
got Fat Chance playing, right?
Yep.
That's Clint Howard's band. He's the Clint Howard. Clint Howard is the drummer of every band. We didn't tell the bands yet, but Clint Howard is actually going to drum for all of them.
So are you guys still accepting vendors, or is that all closed out?
It wrapped up last week, and we're sending out acceptance emails this weekend. We got like over 100 applications.
That's wild.
Yeah, I think people are looking for stuff to do, but even like when we had this outdoors last year, people were really safe about it. We have like protocols in place for COVID and whatnot, and I think people were pretty good about it.
Going by the CDC guidelines, I mean, I think it's pretty safe, even, an outdoor activity when you're moving around if a majority of people are vaccinated. So being this unique but seemingly inevitable event with the meeting of the punk and horror communities, do you guys have any, I mean, you are showing Rock and Roll High School, which is one of the definitive punk films, I'd say, but any of the rare movies that cross over? You have Green Room came out a couple of years ago.
I love Green Room. We got a ball. I love that movie. I want that Minor Threat shirt too from the
Chopping Mall.
Oh fuck, Chopping Mall.
Yeah, what was the one you said?
Oh, wait, who?
Still talking about Green Room?
I was still talking about Green Room. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Zoom stuff.
Zoom stuff. That I think Zoom stuff is the greatest punk rock movie of all time. And Surf Nazis Must Die.
I don't think I actually saw that one.
Oh, you should watch it tonight. Actually, watch it now during the interview. And I have one real quick question. Are you in a doctor's office?
I am. Yeah, I work in pathology. I'm plugged in. That's my microscope.
Oh, holy shit.
That's
Okay.
what we're doing.
I was wondering.
Life's like that sometimes.
Awesome.
Yeah, but you also have like Return of the Living Dead, Vicious Lips. If we're going with music recommendation for movie recommendations,
I love Return of the Living Dead. I never saw Vicious Lips though.
it's a weird sci-fi, more sci-fi than horror, but still horror element from the 80s.
Oh, cool. I've actually never heard of that. Maybe if I see like the poster, it'll.
Yeah, it's cool, like Riot Girl sci-fi stuff. But we also had locally filmed Uncle Peckerhead. Did you guys end up seeing that? Came out like 2 months ago.
Is it also known as Uncle Buck?
No.
No, because I saw Uncle Buck. I saw Uncle Buck 2. I saw Uncle Buck 3D. I saw Uncle Buck in space. I saw Uncle Buck versus
Uncle
the
Buck in the
Ginger Dead Man.
Yeah, I definitely suggest that Uncle Peckerhead.
Uncle Peckerhead.
It's pretty much it's this band's down and out going on tour, and it's filmed in Jersey, so they go Pennsylvania, all the local states, and basically they don't have a van, so this guy says you can use my van, but he ends up being a cannibal.
Nice.
So that's that.
And is the guy with the van is that Uncle Peckerhead?
That is, yes.
Is that
I don't know.
is that a spoiler? Spoiler alert, Uncle
I
Peckerhead.
spoiled the whole thing, but
God damn it.
that's horror. That's horror, man. You read, you know the plot going in. You just want to see what they
Why
do
does
with
that make me feel like tourist trap, sort of? Like going on an adventure somewhere, then there's a weird guy and
On that old highway,
Oh.
see my friend. This is Juice. Sponsored by Truly's.
But yeah, I mean, like the whole day is gonna be filled with stuff to do. I think it's gonna be a really great representation of the different music and art around in the area. And it's something really fun to go to. I mean, when are you gonna ever get to see Rock and Roll High School around here? At the drive-in. So
at the drive-in.
Probably
I
at the children's library. I think they play it like bi-monthly. They have like
I wish they did.
they do. Joey Ramone Tuesdays, but Joey Ramone Tuesday, because Joey Ramone made his own day of the week. Because when in No Sleep Till Brooklyn, when they say rock of this party 8 days a week, they're actually referring to the day that Joey Ramone created to show his movie at the children's library 30 years later. Fun fact.
Joey's day. So just pulling up the Instagram in case someone's on the fence. Bands y'all got playing, so far. Wife Swamp, Shecky's, Unstable Minds, World Breaker, Video Massacre, Swims, the aforementioned Fat Chance. Wonderful band. Love Fat Chance. Speaking of like ridiculous people related to punk rock and horror, because we are a New Jersey based podcast, Danzig, the Misfits. You guys ever catch he did a horror movie that was
do you want me to talk about that?
Let's talk about it.
That son of a bitch. I tried to play his fucking movie at the fucking drive-in, and he's too good. He'll play it in fucking Philadelphia, but he won't play it in Scranton at the drive-in. And his dumbass producer had the fucking balls after Danzig turned down my offer. At least I can die saying that. Fuck Danzig. But anyway, this was before COVID too. I bet he'd be like, ugh. Anyway, so they said no. Well, Glenn is not interested, but would you be interested in showing one of our other films? And I just wrote back no, and that was a dickhead. I'm sorry. I loved Danzig 2 is one of my favorite metal albums of all time.
Yeah,
Sam Hain
absolutely.
is one of my favorite bands, but I have a problem with Glenn Danzig. And
Three amazing bands.
when I see Glenn Danzig, if and when I see Glenn Danzig, I hope he's with his bouncer, because I'm going to walk right up to him and I'm going to pet Danzig like a little chihuahua, and I'm going to look his security guard straight in the eye. I'm going to say, "Oh, very beautiful dog." Sorry, I think I just got triggered. Now I understand why people.
He's got Chihuahua vibes. I mean, I went into it expecting such a response.
Good.
No one's gonna be like, "Oh, I fucking love Danzig." It's like, all right, cool.
That was me up until like 2 years ago. I was defending him, and
I mean, yeah, you're like, all right, this man has made this much wonderful music.
We can also talk
This is
about
a good
how
vote,
Michael
no.
Graves is a Proud Boy piece of shit. If we want to go
I
that
opened
route.
for him back as a kid. Like, horrible person baseline.
Mhm.
Politics aside, just a total douchebag to begin with. But yeah, like
My friend, this is a true story. My friend actually was at a picnic, and one of his girlfriends was dating Michael Graves at the time, and they got into a fight, and Michael Graves sat in a truck and cried during the whole cookout. That's a true story.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. That's really on, that's him. He sounds like
I
that
still
kind of
like
guy.
American Psycho though. I can't.
I love his music. Like
He's a
Famous
bad
Monsters is
guy.
incredible.
No one admits it, but a couple good albums with the New Misfits.
His solo
Danzig
stuff is good too. That Lucifer song, it's like Lucifer I Am or whatever. Lucifer AIM, his screen name. What do you think Michael Graves' away messages were? Something really dumb, right? Like, I can't. All right, Jess, what do you think Michael Graves' away message would be in 2001?
2001.
Yeah, is it? I'm watching Road Rules. Don't bother me.
No, he watches The Real World, not Road Rules.
Shit.
He wishes that he.
No, the challenge, the Inferno. Derek.
Yeah.
Who was the guy who always punched everyone? CT.
I don't remember.
Now I'm gonna marathon it on Paramount Plus. Also our sponsor. I don't have a Paramount Plus tall boy yet, but when I do, you best believe I'm getting that jingle jangle. I'll stop talking. I'm sorry.
Please don't. Please don't. He's so wonderful.
You guys want to see Freddy Krueger?
In the flesh.
Cardboard flesh.
In the flesh, the melting cheese flesh. Shout out to Maroni's Pizza. You made Freddy Krueger who he is.
We've been doing this for a while though. me trying to stay on track here.
Wait, we're off track? Yeah.
I don't think there's a track to be on. I'm literally
Creating the
just like punk and horror. I mean, June 12th, Circle Drive-In.
We've actually moved it to the Scranton Coliseum. It has not been built yet. So no, we're at the Circle Drive-In.
No way, it's in the swamp. The swamp of it.
The
You guys have
swamp.
swamp like we have swamp here.
We drink swamp. We drink in the swamp.
I'm in Wife Swamp.
Oh yeah. See what you did.
The bands. All right. Jess, as a punk podcast,
I
let's
should
talk more.
probably pick that up.
You're excited for the bands, and I do applaud you on not, just booking generic horror punk. There is a nice diverse array of punk subgenres. What about zines? Is it all punk based? Do you have like some horror magazines maybe?
Well, I always do try to get Lunch Meat to come out. But honestly, it's a wide range of, it's like a mixed bag of things. There's really always a good mix of zines as well as artists and such. To pinpoint like a specific kind of zine would be difficult. I feel like there's a good array of like zines. I've had distros come out. There's been a lot of different types, I guess, of zines, a lot of different connections. But I don't know, people tend to be like just newly exposed to it. I feel like when they come to one of our events. I've been running the zine festival part for over 10 years now. So like Scranton had like a zine festival. I kind of merged it with the punk rock flea market a couple of years ago because people were starting to bring in other visual art versus just zines.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of made it a little bit more well-rounded, but it also exposed people that weren't used to making zines the opportunity to make one. So, but I like used to go to the Philly+Zinefest all the time. Brooklyn had one for a couple of years.
Carbondale.
Carbondale wishes they had a zine fest.
They have a Swamp Fest. A Boone Cricket Fest. Isn't that the Carbondale Boone Cricket Fest? No, that guy, that they banned that. There's like a 6-year ban. Like the governor of Carbondale said that they can't have the Boone Cricket Fest for 6 years. And they didn't even question it because that's, how can you ban a Boone Cricket Fest?
I'm liking these. This sounds like a plot synopsis for a movie or something, Bob. You ever get in filmmaking, or you just
that's actually
get your ramble on?
That's actually what started NEPA Horror Film Fest. I shot and directed a feature length called Deatherman, which was shot on video. It was a horror comedy about a killer weatherman who gets murdered for his job, and he comes back after an acid rainstorm. And so I was going from venue to venue showing my movie locally, and I really got sick of seeing it. And then it was actually River Street Jazz Cafe wanted to show it around Halloween. And I was like, oh, I want to do something. They're giving me the opportunity. They're giving me this date, but I don't want to show my movie. So I came up with, I said, well, why don't we do a horror film festival? And then I came up with the number 13 because you know how spooky 13 is. I said, we'll show 13 short films. So that's what started the NEPA Horror Film Fest, 13 short films. And we do that annually every October. And that's gone from River Street Jazz Cafe to Ale Mary's to the Iron Horse movie theater. And then we've been at Circle Drive-In for the past 3 years. And what we do is basically we showcase independent short films from all around the world. And we've actually, it's for, what the hell am I saying? I'd like to show that there's more to horror than what you see in Hollywood and on Shudder. Actually, no, I like Shudder, so Shudder's cool. But you know what I mean, I think. I don't remember anything I just said.
I mean, no, that's film fests are hard because they oftentimes have very high submission fees, and like you said, people in other countries, that's a lot for them to. It's easy to send a video file, but to wire transfer $500 from Denmark, let alone Brazil.
We had I think 2 years ago we had a filmmaker from Dubois come, and it was his first time in America, and I was more excited about watching him walk around the drive-in than the film fest itself. And like little things. I mean, that's not a little thing. That was a huge thing to him, but it's stuff like that is what drives me to do this and keep going. That's a huge example of what keeps me motivated. Him.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. The whole reason why I like doing this every year is to provide a platform for people, because or else there's sometimes, especially in this area, we have like monthly art gallery showings called First Fridays, and it's a lot of people that speak to me at least think that they're somewhat like overly sophisticated or stuffy, but here, anybody could just be themselves, not be afraid of having something that's too crazy to put out. And it kind of creates a network of friends, people that you didn't know that make similar stuff, that have similar interests. So it's a good networking experience.
And that was another good thing about collaborating the film festival with the Zine Fest and the punk rock flea market, because it's pretty much the same crowd. So it just made sense for us. And we had been working together. Like prior to the collaboration, Jess had been helping me so much with the film festival. So I wish I could say the same about helping her with the Zine Festival. I didn't do shit. I look like a baked potato with caterpillars. And the lighting is some weird.
We'll do some post-production.
Oh, no, you won't. Oh, can you make me look fatter?
I'll put the George Clooney filter on.
I don't want George Clooney. I want the other guy from ER, the guy that was in Donnie Darko, or Jamie Gertz. I want to be Jamie Gertz for Halloween.
You got it.
Can I be Pinhead? Can I be Henry Rollins?
Shout out to Henry. Wrong Turn 2, that he never died on Netflix. He's kind of the unspoken,
Ooh, Henry
punk and horror
Rollins?
crossover guy. Yeah.
Oh, he was good in Lost Highway.
2 seconds.
He's
He's like,
2 seconds. He makes a
he's in
great
it for
cop.
like 2 seconds.
He was real good.
He's like, all right, do it again.
Oh, no, The Chase with Charlie Sheen and Christy Swanson. And Epitaph, I think Epitaph Records did the soundtrack. Because it starts off with the first song from the self-titled Rancid. What the fuck am I talking about? But Henry Rollins is really funny in that as a police officer.
You know, you just made me think of like,
Because he wrote Police Story. Huh? I'm sorry.
made me
I'm
think
talking
of how odd it is to just call him by his first name. He's like one of those people you have to say their full name, because if you just go around going Henry, seems
Well, there's that one song. What song is it when he says, "My name is Henry and you're with me now"? Or I may have made that up, but I think there's a song where he says that. You know what we should do? We should sell Henry Rollins puppets and see if he gets pissed. Who wants a Kickstarter?
Do Revenge on Danzig.
I was gonna say that.
Danzig's already a fucking Muppet. He's like, they left a Muppet in the attic and it got into heavy metal, and it just came one day, it just walked down the
I
steps
think that's me.
and recorded all these albums.
I think you're talking about me instead. I think
What?
you're referring to me instead.
You're a Muppet that walked down the steps and recorded a Misfits record? I knew I liked you. This is why we're friends, because you're a Muppet that walked down the steps, and I'm a Muppet that walked up the steps and then got electrocuted and fell down the steps and did a podcast 4 seconds later. You guys mind if I
Sure.
smoke?
All right. Just noticed that.
What?
Shouts out to Power Violence. Spaz.
Oh, yeah. No, it's Zaps. You don't know nothing about Power Violence till you listen to Zaps. I had a Los Crudos shirt on, but my cat fucking ripped it. But that would have been more punk rock. I have a new cat and it fucking attacks me. That's why I smoke. This is why I smoke, because I got a cat.
I just got my first one a couple months ago. They be moody. They be having feelings and shit.
They Be Moody. That's the new Danzig movie, isn't it? They Be Moody.
Moody. Yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised I haven't seen it. Because he just did another one, I think. Either of the Danzig movies, but
Yeah, I can't wait to never watch it.
never watch it.
I have 2 cats. They don't get along. But yeah, they're also moody. Well, one of them is moody.
Have they met Danzig?
They sound like they have.
Well, that's like every Misfits song that Danzig did sounds like he's on a roller coaster.
Whoa!
And then he would complain, "Oh, I think your ride hurt my shoulder." Action. Danzig at Action Park.
He must be this tall. Sorry, Danzig. Any other stuff you guys want to plug? Maybe like yeah, let's start there. Any other info that we missed?
just I guess like the meet and greet with Clint Howard's going to be towards the middle of the day, but I'm pretty sure hopefully he's staying through the movies and everything's to
Mhm.
watch himself. And the shopping will pretty much continue until the movie starts screening around 8:30. As long as it gets dark by that time, I guess. And
I think it's like probably a little bit after 9 p.m. I believe is dusk. Dusk, D-U-S-K,
uh,
or D-U-S-C if you live in Carbondale. Those boon crickets never learned how to spell.
oh, and maybe the price or where they could buy the tickets.
It's like $20.
Wait,
It's on your
Vincent
Instagram,
Price?
right?
Vincent Price? Vincent Price is going to be there.
My guy Vinny rose from the dead.
The original diva of horror, Vincent Price.
It's 20 unless you like get a group of people and fill a car, then it's 75.
Or a
Alright.
really shitty school bus, which I highly recommend. And wear a Dracula mask while you're driving there.
For a discount.
No,
You will not get pulled over.
you better get. The cop wears a mask too.
The cop is Henry Rollins.
No, the cop is wearing a Henry Rollins mask. Expensive. Wish.com.
So yeah, those tickets, you can get them at NEPA horrorfilmfest.com.
Yes.
The link is in their Instagram. Same thing, NEPA Horror Film Fest. Yeah, get spooky this summer. CDC revised their guidelines, so shit's chill.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. Gonna be a good time.
I mean, there's like 5 different things going on at once. Just you at least will not be
Yeah.
bored. That is
You
guaranteed.
can park.
And if you're bored, you can leave. You can leave. There's the exit, asshole. Just get out. If you're bored, you're not getting your money back, but you can leave. You best believe you can leave. We're gonna have shirts that say you best believe you can leave if you're bored at nepa.horror.booncricket.org/eggs. Don't go to that website. I've seen things on that website. I mean, I've been to a lot of websites, but you go to that one and you best believe you're gonna see some shit.
Not unless I update it.
Oh yeah, sponsor us. Somebody.
Help.
Give them
Help
money.
us. Clint Howard wants his own towel with his face on them. You want to know what Clint Howard demanded? A dozen roses. No, I'm kidding. I spoke to him on the phone yesterday and he is one of the nicest human beings I've ever spoken to. Uh-oh.
All right, Bobby, Jess, I got to skedaddle. It was wonderful talking to you.
What does skedaddle mean?
23 skidoo,
Oh, of course.
Get going
I
with
fucking knew it. I fucking knew it.
I'm sorry, guys.
I knew you were
it's
leaving.
Jersey shit.
Skedaddle?
Jersey.
Everybody in New Jersey leaves me.
I gotta go. It's Jersey. I got a pork roll.
Pork roll?
Pork roll.
Have you ever had pork shoulders?
Yep. You ever have pork cheek?
Not today.
I had it the one time that I went to New York and wasn't miserable.
I hate that. I hate that you said that.
I'm sorry. I'm not from this area. I'm from Boston,
I knew it.
and I'm still getting used to it. I think I'm Pennsylvania. Sounds good. Sounds better than
Our hardcore scene is better than yours.
that is a fact. That is a fact. I had that debate, Boston versus Jersey. It's like there is no Jersey hardcore. It's for like Joe.
Floor punch, floor punch, floor punch, floor punch, floor punch, floor punch. It's
Great
like
stuff.
why you can skip gym class and just listen to floor punch. Right?
Like,
They're just a bunch of gym teachers, real sweaty and hitting you. Well, no, that's exactly like every gym class. I like Floor Punch. Fast Times at the Jersey Shore. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I grew up on Pittsburgh bands, you know, the
Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
Who's from Pittsburgh? Boy Sets Fire. Ugh.
Rotten.
That's right.
Ooh.
Their other band, Behind Enemy Lines, very good.
Okay, you out-punked me.
Oh fuck, that means I gotta go. I gotta.
Henry Rollins' last
Typical.
real name is Garfield, if that makes anyone feel better.
That makes me feel so much worse about everything in my life.
Let the man go.
I heard he named himself after the Limp Bizkit song.
Limp Bizkit named themselves after Henry Rollins. Chocolate
Your last name is Limp
Starfish.
Bizkit.
Nookie Rollins. All right, I'm done.